Okay, we just finished checking out what impact or effect the length of wire has on resistance. So now we're going to check out what effect there is on resistance related to the gauge of the wire. So the first wire that I used was a Nichrome wire, and I used a 20 gauge, which is thicker. I'm going to now move to the 22 gauge. Remember, as the number goes up, the wire is thinner. Bigger number, thinner wire, smaller number, thicker wire. So I'm going to go to the thinner wire, and we're going to do the same lengths, and we're going to collect our qualitative and quantitative data. So I'm going to go to the 0. Uh-oh, not getting a reading here. Got to make sure my wires aren't touching each other at all here. Make sure I just have a loose connection there. Oh, my light bulb isn't very well screwed in. Okay. So that was my trouble. So now when I record my data, I'm at 0, and my meter says 350. And my light, I'm going to write down the brightness name, the qualitative data, after I look at the next one. So now I'm going to go to my next data point, which is 25 centimeters. So I'm going to put it right here. And I think the brightness went down for sure. So I would say it went from bright to glow. So 0 was bright, 25 was glow, and my ammeter says 315. Now my next data point is 50 centimeters. So I'm going to move down to the 50 centimeter mark. And I think that is looking dim to me. And my meter says 300 centimeters. 300 ammeters. And my last 2 points are 75. My meter says 280. And my light bulb is definitely looking dull to me. And the last point here would be 100. And it's still dull. And my meter says 260. So I have learned that the type of wire, the gauge of the wire makes a difference. This is the same. So I can compare the top set of data with the next set of data that I got. The brightness is definitely seeming less bright when it comes to the thinner wire. And the reading on my ammeter also is lower. So overall, almost all my data points were less current flowing through the circuit. So now I'm going to do the same thing again, and we're going to be looking at what difference the type of wire makes. So I'm going to move both of my clips here to the copper wire. And I'm going to see, what does copper wire do? So remember, my first data point is at 0. I would say that light bulb is looking bright to me, and my current on my ammeter says 335. Now let's take it and go to 25 centimeters. I'd say it's still looking pretty bright. And my meter is at 330. Now let's move it to 50 centimeters. I don't think my light bulb has changed a whole lot. Let's go back and look. There and there. I think it looks bright. My ammeter says 325. Now let's go to 75 centimeters. I do not think my light bulb has changed. Still looks bright. And my reading is about 325. So this is not changing very much. And lastly, 100. It looks bright, and it looks like it's still 325. So the type of material now I can see makes a difference. I have maintained pretty much the same brightness, and I've kept the same flow of current no matter where I put the length of the wire. So that is an investigation on how the type of wire, the length of wire, and the gauge or thickness of wire affects resistance.